Hello class 10 students, welcome back to my channel Learn with Ease. Today's video is on the poem Amanda. Now let's talk about Amanda. Amanda is a teenager. Like all teenagers, she loves freedom. She wants to lead her own kind of life. She doesn't want to be an overprotected child, nor does she want that her parents should control and guide her activities. What she should do and what not is her own choice. She should not be dictated by her mother. Mother's constant nagging leads her away from her. She creates a world of her own. Her world is not the world of harsh realities, but it is an imaginary world of fairies and mermaids. There she finds solace as she can wander in a lonely island blissfully like a mermaid. She can enjoy freedom by roaming around the streets like an orphan. She craves to live in a lonely tower, leading a peaceful life like Rapunzel. She avoids her mother as she doesn't like her constant nagging. She even doesn't look at her while she is speaking to her. Let's talk about Amanda's mother. Amanda's mother seems to be an overprotective mother. She believes that Amanda is still a girl and must live her life as her mother wants. Being a girl, she needs constant tutoring and taking instructions from her. She should be very careful the way she sits and stands. She should not bend down but sit up straight. She forbids her eating chocolate as it would not be good for her pimples. Her constant nagging leads her daughter far away from her. Amanda escapes into the world of dreams, imagining herself a mermaid, an orphan, or a fairy. She doesn't look at her mother while she is speaking to her. Amanda's mother fails to understand why her daughter remains unhappy and moody. She only asks her to stop sulking lest people should blame her mother for nagging her. The themes of the poem Amanda are upbringing, freedom or liberty, individuality, escapism, communication, control, solitude, and restrictions. The setting of the poem is Amanda's house. The message conveyed in the poem Amanda is parents should not restrict their children's freedom to such an extent that they feel suffocated. The central idea of the poem Amanda is parents tend to nag and instruct their children as they are overprotective about them, but children feel that their freedom is being curbed because of such constant, unwanted and controlled instructions, owing to which they distance themselves from their parents as they want to indulge in fantasies and remain the same for just a little bit longer. Amanda and her mother are the two characters in the poem Amanda. Now let's look at the character traits. First, Amanda's traits: little or young, daydreamer, escapist, imaginative, vexed, peevish, free-spirited, creative or inventive, moody or sulking, as mentioned by the mother, overprotected, romantic, and fascinated. Now let's look at Amanda's mother's traits. Overprotective, nagging or instructing or tutoring or guiding, controlling, interfering, worried, caring or loving or concerned, dictating, and harsh. The problem in the poem Amanda is Amanda's mother feels that Amanda should cultivate good habits and wants things to be perfect in her case, like the way she sits, stands, bends, eating of chocolates bearing pimples in mind, looking at her while she is talking to her, and not sporting a gloomy, moody or sulking look. On the other hand, Amanda, who is craving for freedom as a teenager, feels constantly nagged at and naturally escapes into a world of imagination which her mother fails to understand. The solution to the problem is proper understanding from both Amanda and her mother's side will result in fruitful and desired results. The values highlighted in the poem Amanda are: parental upbringing should not be such that the child keeps himself or herself aloof from parents because of restricted freedom. It should be a balanced one where enough space is given to the child so that the freedom is preserved to reach the intended goal. Now let's look at the poetic devices. The first one is anaphora. Repetition of don't in first and second lines of stanza 1. Repetition of did you in first and second lines of stanza 3. The second poetic device is epiphora. Repetition of Amanda at the end of consecutive lines in stanza 1, 3, 5 and 7. The third poetic device is assonance. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Repetition of vowel sound O. The next example is I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Next example is will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you? The fourth poetic device is symbolism. Emerald. It's a green color of the sea. The fifth poetic device is imagery. Visual description in stanza 2 can be seen. The sixth poetic device is alliteration. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, or stop that sulking. The seventh poetic device is allusion. The use of mermaid and Rapunzel. The eighth poetic device is repetition. Please check the repetition of the word Amanda. The ninth poetic device is metaphor. Amanda comparing herself to a mermaid, Rapunzel. And the silence is golden. The freedom is sweet. The 10th poetic device is consonance. I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. Please check the prominent sound of R. The 11th poetic device is rhyme scheme. The stanza where the mother speaks, the rhyme scheme is A-A-B-A. The stanzas where Amanda imagines, the rhyme schemes are different. For stanza 2, it is A-A-B. For stanza 4, it is A-A-A. And for stanza 6, it is A-A-A. The 12th poetic device is stone. Let's check the mother's tone. It is authoritative, strict, frustrated, irritated, and disappointed. Let's look at Amanda's tone. She has not spoken anything in the poem, but what we can make out is she is dreamy and childish.